Chapter 5, Circulatory System. Introduction. The human circulatory system performs different functions such as, now we can ask, what are the functions which perform by circulatory system? There are many functions such as a transportation of oxygen, absorb nutrients and hormones to the body tissues. Second, transportation of waste products to the excretory organs, and distribution of heat in the body by means of blood and lymph liquids circulating in reticular vessels which are diffuse in the body. Circulatory system consists of a blood circulation system and lymphatic system. Now, why, we can ask, why the circulatory system perform function of distribution of heat in the body? Why? And the answer is by means of blood and lymph liquids circulating in reticular vessels which are diffuse in the body. And we can ask, divide or list the kinds of circulatory system in the body. Circulatory system consists of two systems, divided in two systems, that is blood circulation system and lymphatic system. A blood circulation system. The first system of blood circulation in the body is blood circulation system. A blood constantly flow in the closed vessels. A blood starts to circulate from the heart and return to the heart again. Yes. And we can ask why. Why the blood start to circulate from heart and return to the heart again. From heart, start with heart and finish with heart again. Why? The next is the answer. Because the heart pumps the blood into the arteries. And first the blood, or the heart, pumps the blood into the arteries. And then the end of arteries are branched and composed of fine capillaries distributed between the body cells. Then these blood capillaries are accumulated in the veins, connected with the veins, we can say that transport the blood to the heart, and this cycle repeat. Yes, what does that mean? That means the heart pumps the blood into the arteries, and arteries are connected with veins. By what? Because it branch from the ends of arteries are branched, and this branch are accumulated with veins. Then the arteries transport the blood to the veins. By what? By the blood capillaries. These the branch ends of arteries, and then the blood transport to the veins. From the veins transport the blood from all body systems, all body cells, and then return this blood to the heart again. What does that mean? That means the blood start to circulate from heart and then return to the heart again. Why? Because there are heart and arteries and veins. From veins to the heart again, the blood is returned to the heart again. Yes. What are the question? The important question in this section, blood circulation system, is why the blood starts to circulate from the heart and return to the heart again. And the answer, we can say the heart pumps the blood to the arteries. Arteries are branched. The ends of arteries are branched and accumulated with veins. Veins transport the blood, collect the blood from all body cells, and then return them to the blood again. A blood circulation system consists of three parts, or three important things, that is blood and heart and blood vessels. Now in next we talk about blood. Blood, what is blood? Blood, it is red colored. Yes, all of you know that the blood is red in color. Viscous liquid. Why? Viscous liquid, yes. And it is composed of plasma and blood cells. A blood is composed of, we can say blood is divided, the parts of a blood is divided into two major things, two major groups, that is plasma and blood cells. The blood forms about 7% of total body weight. 7% of total body weight. And its volume in the body about 4 to 6 liters in an adult. 4 to 6 liters in an adult. Yes, this is about the blood. Structure of blood. Very important subject. Structure of blood. We say a blood consists of two major parts, that is plasma and blood cells. Now let us to talk about the first part, is plasma. What is plasma? A plasma, it is a clear yellow liquid, which makes up 55% of total volume of blood. It consists of 20% water and 10% dissolved material, such as absorbed nutrients, salt, antibodies, hormones, and some waste materials. Other blood contents float in the blood plasma. We can say this is the function, or important is the base of function, because there are many functions of plasma in the body. Yes, but one of the importances of plasma, it is that the other blood contents float in the blood plasma. Yes, this is about the plasma. Yes, the second part of blood is blood cells. Blood cells. What is blood cells? And there are three types of blood cells in the blood, that is red blood cells, and the corresponding name of red blood cells is erythrocytes. And the second type of blood is white blood cells, and the corresponding name of white blood cells is leukocyte. The third type is called blood platelets. Blood platelets, and the corresponding name of the blood platelets is thrombocyte. Yes, in first we talk about red blood cells, or we can say erythrocyte. They are disc shaped. Very important things, disc shape, and we can ask why the shape of red blood cells is called, or is disc shape. Yes, and thinner in the center, Red blood cells lose their nuclei after a short time of its formation. Its diameter is about 8 micron. 1 micron, 1 multiply 1,000 millimeters. That is a very, very tiny things. There are about 5.2 million red cells in 1 millimeter cubic of the male blood, and there are about 5 million red blood cells in 1 millimeter of female's blood. Yes, that means the red blood cells in male more than the red blood cells in female. Yes. The red blood cells contain red pigment. That is very important things. Yes. Now pay me attention for that. Red pigment called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. That carries O2 and CO2. O2 and CO2 in the body. The hemoglobin is a special protein and contain iron. Now what is hemoglobin? We can say hemoglobin is a red pigment which found in the red blood cells, and it carries O2 and CO2 in the body, and it is a special membrane contain iron. Lack of red blood cells or hemoglobin in the blood causes anemia. They are formed in the spleen. Yes, this is about red blood cells. Red blood cells formed in the spleen and liver in children. Yes, that is in children. In children, in spleen and liver, but before birth, while they are formed in the bone marrow after birth. Now, when he asks you about the image of red blood cells, red blood cells formed in spleen and liver in children before birth, while they are formed in the bone marrow after birth. That is very important. Define hemoglobin, image of red blood cells. That is important things. Yes, the life period of each red blood cells is about 120 days. That means 4 months. 4 months. Yes. The new red blood cells here. Now, when we talk about the red blood cells, is a limited time, then die. Yes. This we can say red blood cells dead. What happened to these red blood cells? Blood cells are placed in state of the old ones, dead ones, we can say. The iron of worn out red blood cells are to liver and bone marrow. Why? To produce new red blood cells. They transport O2 from lungs to body tissue and CO2 from body tissue to lungs. This is the important. This is the function, we can say. The function, yes. There are other functions, but the main function of red blood cells is they transport O2 from lungs to body tissue and CO2 from body tissue to lungs. Now, I ask, why? Why red blood cells transport O2 and CO2? Why? Yes. Who can answer? Yes. White blood cells. White blood cells. And we say the corresponding name is leukocyte. Leukocytes. Yes. They are colorless. When we talk about red blood cells, we say red color. But white blood cells is colorless and inconstant in shape, or amoebic shape. Yes, and this is different between white blood cells and red blood cells. Disc shape and thinner from the center. But white blood cells are inconstant or amoebic shape. They have nuclei. Red blood cells lose their nuclei after a short time of its formation. Their diameter is about 6 to 15 micron. Red blood cells 8 micron. There are about 6,000 cells in 1 millimeter. 6,000 from white blood cells, but in red blood cells 8 or 5.2 in male and 5 in male. There are very different between them. Of female blood, and there are about 6,000 cells of 5,000 is here in 1 millimeter cubic of the male blood. They defense, we can say this is the function, they defense body by attacking invading microorganisms or by producing antibodies. Yes, we can say there are two main functions. Defense body by what? By attacking invading microorganisms, this is the first, and the other by producing antibodies. The number of white blood cells increase in cases of inflammation, infection with some microbes, bacteria, and blood cancer like leukemia. White blood cells are what are the image of white blood cells are formed both in bone marrow and lymph nodes. Yes. White blood cells found in second group. Yes. This is different between red blood cells. There are one shape, one group of red blood cells. Yes. But red blood cells, no. It is found in second group, have ability to penetrate the walls of blood capillaries after its cells are elongated and forms pseudopodia such as amoeba. They act as scavengers and collect the last part of dead cells and microorganisms found between the tissue cell. They provide acquired immunity to the body against disease. Yes. What are the second group of white blood cells? There are two groups of white blood cells, that is granulocyte and agranulocyte. Granulo, what are this word from what? From a granular cytoplasm. The granulocyte have a granular cytoplasm. For that is called granulocytes. Why it's called in this name? Because they have a granular cytoplasm and lobulated nuclei. The nuclei is lobulated. Lobulated, what does that mean? That means it consists of many lobules. They are formed in bone marrow and formed in bone marrow. Formation in bone marrow. This is about granulocyte. There are three properties of granulocyte. They have a granular cytoplasm, lobulated nuclei, and they are formed in bone marrow. Yes. What about agranulocyte? Agranulocyte, they have non-granular cytoplasm, don't have a granular cytoplasm, and unlobulated. That means the nucleus consists of one part, don't have many lobules. Nuclei. They are formed in lymph nodes. Yes, we can make comparison between them, granulocyte and agranulocyte. Granulocyte have a granular cytoplasm. Agranulocyte have non-granular cytoplasm. A granulocyte have lobulated nuclei. Agranulocyte have no or unlobulated nuclei. A granulocyte, they are formed in bone marrow. Agranulocyte formed in lymph nodes. Yes, make comparison between them. Homework. C. Blood platelets. Blood platelets or thrombocyte. Thrombocytes, corresponding name. They are very tiny discs or oval-shaped cells. They have no nucleus. Don't have nucleus. Its diameter is about 2 micron. Very tiny. Yeah, that means it's smaller than red blood cells. There are about 250,000 platelets in 1 millimeter of blood. Platelets are originate from platelets producing cells. Yes. Found in bone marrow. What are the importance of blood platelets? They provide blood clotting after an injury of bleeding. Blood clotting. Yes. The platelets come together and form clumps in the area of injury. This shape, or this, draw the white blood cells, the kind of blood cells, a granulocyte and agranulocyte. Yes, a granulocyte have many types. That is neutrophil, eosinophil, basophil. According to what it is consist, a granulocyte, according to what it is divided in this types. Neutrophil, this is about, and eosinopazo, it is about the granular cytoplasm. A granular that's found in cytoplasm. Yes, what does that mean? Neutrophil have equal value of baso and eosino. It is called a neutral. Eosino have eosinophil. Yes. And yes, the basophil is about this. Neutrophil are called phagocyting of bacteria and other pathogens. Eosino connected with a mechanism of associated with allergy. Yes. And the basophil, it can heparin. Yes. Agranulocyte have two kinds, monocyte and lymphocyte. Monocyte phagocytosis. Lymphocytes, it is connected with antibodies, or formation of antibodies in the body. Yes, this is about the white blood cells group.